Rotted Reviews, and today we continue on with Patron Appreciation Month. All through October, I have queried my patrons, the people that have supported me just that little bit above and beyond, and asked them, what do you want me to watch and review? As long as I haven't reviewed it before, and as long as it's horror, it's fair game, so hit me with it. And today's suggestion comes from patron Ian, who has recommended the 1976 movie Squirm. Written and directed by Jeff Lieberman, this was his full-length motion picture debut. And to my knowledge, it's the only movie I've reviewed thus far that has actually been riffed by Mike and the Bots for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode. This was actually their penultimate episode before the revival, episode 12 of season 10.
Sister, let me tell you.
And when a patron decides to go ahead and make a suggestion that's been riffed by the MST3K crew, I kind of brace myself for the worst. I've seen a lot of MST3K episodes. I can't recall actually having seen this one, so my viewing of Squirm was the first that I had actually seen of this. And in it, we get introduced to the characters of Mick and Jerry, long-distance lovers that are meeting back up at Jerry's hometown in Georgia. Mick is coming from the big city by bus, and the road has been washed out by a major storm that has also taken out power lines. Power which is now feeding into the ground, and it's going to take a couple of days for the workers to bring the lines back up. But in the meantime, there is thousands and thousands of volts raging into the ground, which apparently causes some hairy-carry with some of the worms there. Worms and electricity apparently being a bad mix as they come up from the ground by the millions and start eating folks. So let's just go ahead and drop all pretense and be real here. I'm not going to say that this is the best movie I've ever seen. This is not a rich tale for the epic ages where it introduces characters that make you redefine your life choices as you ponder existence itself. No, this is a creature feature about man-eating worms. But as a creature feature about man-eating worms, holy fuck, was it pretty decent. Now, I had thought that I had actually seen this one just reading the description of it, but I was wrong. I was mistaken. I was mistaking it for Food of the Gods. And this doesn't actually have giant man-eating worms. This just has plentiful man-eating worms. And this movie really delivers with that. It's a matter of expectation setting. You're not going to sit down and click play on Squirm and expect Spartacus. What you're going to expect is a lot of worms eating people. And in that, I would say that this movie was overly ambitious, but still delivered. The sheer quantity of worms in this movie was flabbergasting. And yes, there were subplots involving Jerry and somebody else who was in love with her, and a sheriff that was constantly on Mick's ass and blaming him for a bunch of stuff as this mystery was unfolding. But that's really neither here nor there. The whole plot was just silly on its surface. What we were waiting for was for the plot to finish, giving whatever message it was trying to give us, so that finally we can have the climax of the night of the attack of worms. And we got it. We got it so good in this one. As you might glean from my enthusiastic tone here, I am a sucker for creature features done well. And yeah, this may not win any awards or have many laurels to its name, but it was a creature feature done well in a world of creature features that often don't, especially when we're talking about MST3K riff movies. The Creeping Terror, I would say, is just a bad movie on all fronts and deserves every ounce of riffing that it got. There's just dozens and dozens and dozens of examples of these type of movies done poorly. And although I would say that I'm really looking forward to watching the MST3K episode on this one because I think that it is rife for riffing, I would also say that as a creature feature, just promising and delivering a lot of worms eating people, this movie does deliver. It's just fun. It's brainless, mindless, worm-filled fun, and I appreciate that. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and throw up the scores. As always, 4 different categories, each one worth up to 25 points for a total possible score of 100 points, and this movie is stellar from the intent category. Yes, the plot was poorly developed, the characters were one-dimensional, the dialogue was poorly written and delivered, and the technical was nothing to really write home about until we got to the worms segment, but it still was fun, and I think that there's a place for that in our hearts to just have some fun creature feature worm-filled movies in our lives. I was asked fairly recently what I thought about movies that elicited an emotional response. And I say that that's actually one of the goals of cinema. If a movie can actually capture my attention and capture my heart to make me feel sad, to bring out tears, to have some empathy and to capture me, then I think that that is one of the most amazing levels of success that a film can achieve. And on that level, I would say that isn't a certain sense of whimsy and fun and emotion? I would say so, and I would say that on that level, Squirm 1976 absolutely achieved what it set out to do, and I had a blast watching it. So there you go, that's my recommendation for this one. Thank you very much, Ian, for recommending this movie, and thank you for watching this video. Remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.